Afternoon. Uncle, what's your name?
Afternoon, my name is Serif Jallo, known as Coach Rapper.
Okay. Srif Jallo, known as Coach Rapper. Today, we're from worldsolution.gm, whereby we'll go around to ask for the problems affecting the Gambia and the world at large. But today, we came with this idea about the COVID-19 issue, and we wanted to ask you, how does the COVID-19 affect the Gambia and the world at large?
Yeah, COVID-19, I can talk about the sport area because that's where I specific, and that's where I can talk of. It's just the football area too in sports. Football, it kills. I can say it disturbs football in the Gambia because many footballers lose their career. Some of them they are having chances to travel through football. Some of them they are having other chances through football, but they lose all those chances because of the COVID-19. And the football too, the teams too, it disturbs many teams. If you come to the COVID-19, in terms of finance and the team building and the fitness of the team, is disturbs teams.
So, do the teams football in terms of football? Those people in sports believe that COVID-19 is real and is existing.
Yeah, the ones I know, I can talk about them. They believe that it's existing because they are protecting any advice they giving to people in COVID-19. They give it to they take the advice too, so they believe in it.
Okay, so do you think that the government is doing anything, and compared to other countries, about the COVID-19 issue?
Yeah, the COVID-19 issue, the government, they're in sport. In terms of sport, they are not doing in sport. I don't know other departments and other things, but through football or sports, the government is not helping.
So, what advice can you give to them? And
the advice is just let them consider the sport, especially football, because football brings development in a country, and football brings something in the country too. So football, without supporting it or without spending in football, it will not be easy to achieve through football. So if the government want to achieve through football, they have to support football full time.
So what advice can you give the people, the world, so that we can follow the measures given, like wearing face masks and others?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Let's respect it. As far as they said, it is there, whether you have come across it or not. Let's respect the measures they tell us to use face masks, you wash your hands, and social distancing. So we need to respect that so that at least to prevent ourselves.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We all heard what he said, so let us follow the rules.
Hi guys, welcome to another edition of worldsolution.gm. We are here again to talk about the second wave of coronavirus in the Gambia here. I have two gentlemen around me here, Abubakar and Umar. Umar, what have you understand from this gentleman, what he just have said right now?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Njai.
Thank you too for having you.
All right. What I have understand from the gentleman, I will like to elaborate much on the traveling issue of the gentleman, where he says the teams or the players sometimes face challenges because of this COVID-19 issue.
Yeah.
Most of them also lose their opportunity or their sponsors to travel abroad, when it comes to the Gambian content. Yeah. So my understanding on that is COVID-19 has affected the world generally. It has affected the world generally in terms of sports, social welfare, relationships, and so many other things. But right now, what the gentleman has just elaborated is mostly on sports. That's what I am going to elaborate more. He says, because of this COVID-19, players loses their sponsors to go abroad, travel abroad to showcase their talent in abroad. That's very true. In the Gambia, due to this COVID-19 issue, so many people, so many players loses their opportunities to go and play on abroad simply because of this COVID-19 issue. COVID-19 is a very dangerous and a killer disease for that matter. So many countries close their borders. So many countries have restricted peoples that they wanted to have. So many countries don't even want people to come to their country. if you have to come to their country, you have to provide a certificate that shows to you that you are negative and then the like. So if you as a player or you as an individual wanted to travel to abroad, for instance, you are a player and then you wanted to travel to abroad and then you don't have a paper that will show to the peoples that you are negative, it is going to be a problem, and then they are not even allowing you for you to go there. Mr. Njai, it is a very difficult thing when it comes to the football issue.
Okay, thank you, Umar. Thank you for setting more light on that point. But how do you think closing the border have any bond to do with the sport?
Yeah, obviously it has a very, 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 very strong bond.
Like how?
Because when the borders are closed, people cannot travel. When you talk about borders, it's not like these road borders. Even the sea has a border. Sea has borders, and then flight also has restricted borders. Yeah. So if your border you set a no flight zone in your country, no one will come to your country. There will be no flight that will zone through your country, simply because our borders are closed. It's not like only the borders that we have around our surrounding each border. We have so many borders. We have sea borders. You have even the sky borders. We have so many borders. So borders. The closure of the borders affected the sports generally. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Abubakar. What have you also understand from this gentleman?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Njai, and many thanks to the World Solution team. Here we all heard what the gentleman just said. I would like to elaborate more on the financial issue. As the players, we all know, not only they played football for their profession, but most of them work at the restaurants and other institutions. So meanwhile, if the government closed the restaurants, obviously the players wouldn't have a place to work, and the closure of football also reduced the payment of the footballers. So meanwhile, here we are here to elaborate more on the financial issue. We all know what the coach said. It affects his players financially. So here we urge the government to take some of the restrictions and to release some of the restrictions. We all know if he is going to close everything like that, obviously it's going to affect the footballers. So here I think the government needs to take a very strong. They have to be very vigilant to that matter indeed.
Like how?
Good.
Which step they need to take?
Good. They need to look for financial aids.
Yeah.
We all know from foreign. We all know the government itself have a financial support from abroad. So obviously, if the government look for sponsor to the football aspect, because we all heard the coach said they are not considered by the government at all. Mm-hmm. So they are really affected by the coronavirus. So we all know that the second wave of coronavirus is unpredictable. It could be it could be like a Spanish flu. We all know in 1918, the second wave is very dangerous. So likewise, the coronavirus also could be the same thing. So here we don't know how it is going to look like. So here I think we have to follow the preventive measures as it is ruled by the medical experts.
Okay, do you think the government have what it takes to follow those steps or to introduce such actions?
Of course, they need to introduce certain actions, and they here my advice will go to the football at large, not only this country but the whole world at large. We have to follow the restrictions as it is ruled by the government, because they knows what is good for us. Though many of us think that this is politics, but I personally don't take this as a politics, because if you see, this is something real, and we have to obey the restrictions, and we have to obey the rules and the regulations as it is ruled by the medical experts.
What's your name?
My name is Sana.
Sana, your surname?
Java.
Okay, Sana, today we are going around to ask people about the COVID-19 issue, the problem, the reason of the COVID-19, how it hurts the world.
But corona, corona. Me, I don't believe corona. but I don't see corona. I only hear corona in the Europe, in the Africa, other country. But corona is for me. I mean, corona is business in the world. But corona, even corona, we see corona in Africa. You want to know what is corona, but we don't know. We listen in the TV, in the news. You only to hear. But in Africa here, I don't see corona. I never believe corona.
Okay, so are you trying to say that because you didn't see corona, that's why you didn't believe on corona?
Yes, I don't see corona. That's why I don't believe. But I don't see the people who they have corona in Africa. So then I only to hear corona. But we don't know what is corona. But only in the TV you can look to the TV. You see the people. They ask it's corona, but we don't know what is happening in the world. Yeah.
Okay, hence you said corona because you don't see corona and you didn't believe whether it's true or not. What advice will you give to the people that says that corona is existing?
But then I can ask people when they believe. But me, I cannot believe. But I see sometimes other people they ask me corona is true, but I ask the people I don't believe.
Okay, but you don't believe, but still you go in the rules that the government put in place.
But no, I never do that.
Okay, you do follow the rules wearing face masks and washing your hands.
Yes, I don't do that also, but I trust myself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We all heard what he said. He says he didn't believe corona is existing, so he's not going to follow the rules that the government put in place. We all heard what he said, and thank you.
I think you heard what this man have just said. And Sana says that he don't believe coronavirus is existing in Africa here, and he said that also coronavirus is just a business issue, and he don't believe on coronavirus. Umar, how do you think that coronavirus is a business thing in the Gambia here? Do you believe on that coronavirus is a business thing in the Gambia here or in Africa in large?
Thank you very much. Thank you for that question is very important.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that COVID-19 is a business thing. It cannot be business. Let us just be realistic on this case. It cannot be business while people are dying every day. It cannot be business while 2 million, almost close to 2 million people are dying every day or have already died because of this COVID-19, and then other people are calling this business. How can this be business? This cannot be business. We cannot call this business. We cannot call this business because when we all know business is a profit motive enterprise. If enterprise, if you can define it, if it is a profit motive, a profit motive enterprise, then if it is business, and then the other business sectors or business itself is now collapsing because of this COVID-19. So many businesses have been locked down. So many business enterprises have run out of funds because of this COVID-19, and then yet still you are calling this a business?
Okay, wait a minute. Do you think that it's not because of Africans are getting funds from European? That's why he call it as a business thing? Or?
But this is not an African issue. This is a global issue. COVID-19 is not affecting Africans only. COVID-19 is affecting even the Western countries far more than Africa. So it cannot be business. We cannot call this business. If it is business, then it will be a fundraising enterprise. But if you see, when it goes to so many restaurants, so many bars, so many clubs where locked down, states are imposing curfew. Business sectors have been closed. Non-essential places have been closed. So you cannot call this business yet still, because people are not having money from it. Although government can also have fun from it, but it yet still is not business.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure, 110.
Okay, thank you for that. Abu Bakar, I think you also heard what this man have just said, and he said that coronavirus is not existing in Africa here. Now, do you also believe on that or not?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Njai, once again.
Thank you.
I'm not against the person what he have just said. But here, I have to elaborate more what he just said. The reason why he said he don't believe the corona, it is like how we treat the victims. Though I personally believe that coronavirus is real because I have seen many people who are victimized from coronavirus. Then what? How the governments treat the victims of coronavirus? We all know that many people comment that if they are victimized from the virus, the preventive measures they treat from at the hospitals is lacking. So obviously the person from trucking here, Sana, will not agree to that coronavirus is real. And I personally sometimes I sit and think about it whether it is real or not. But sometimes it looks funny. But we all know this is something real because it is killing people every day and night. So obviously we have to believe that this is something real.
Okay, if I understand you, you are trying to say that the government is not taking this issue as a serious thing?
Of course.
Okay.
Because if you see in the Gambia here, during the lockdowns, the president himself used to travel to his home village, and that is he traveled with many crowds. And we all know that the coronavirus is very simple to transmit. So obviously we have to follow the social distancing. And the crowd he usually used to move it, and there's nothing like social distancing at all. So that is why many people believe that the coronavirus is not something real.
It's not existing in the Gambia here or in Africa in large?
In Africa at large, as what the gentleman just said.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ito nung anibada dami.
Isa man tomo Khalifa di Jata.
Okay, Khalifa Jata. Bi ntol nata birkamale kamol nyininka. Nyin sasa I mean problem la soto Gambian nol ana Gambian nol batandi nyami amanke Gambian nol dambati. The wall fongo ay mol affect nyami.
Sasa nya problem o create la jamal not only Gambia ko mi def ha fo nyami. But ni yaji bay batandro ke bagé da wolon Africa for because India Africa for nji bay Gambia fanam batandi bagé. Because Gambia banko me ko man sembo soton na sembo jama babi je ako bantan ko le bulo kon meaning the whole super power country aka bol le bulo kon. Okay sasa mi wol affect ma ban to lo koma. Because sasa en to fon affect bagé Gambia fon affect le.
Comme like ni sa fo molé ay Gambia affect nyami. Silo ay Gambia affect silo comme sila nyaadi la.
Sasa nya Gambia affect follow min na wala na economics la karola affect ko to bakel. Okay ntami fon ka diameje ntami credit dealer di. Nga credit ko deal back. Okay but ni ay credit ko jamba ka sanjami wato min na wolam molle ka san. Okay sila kan sambiral ka sande normally na wafura ka sin silo ka mbaka wafuro. Okay wol jama bi da seno so kam because econo public gathering. So ni ba sin so min ko wulje tasi so kono. So wana inte affect ko area la andu ngala mo jama affect ko la. Tu yana like domoro karon domoro be ka bandala Gambia ko domoro da Gambia domoro domoro da ja. So importation area la aka affection so je like currently nga moy la ko I feel like there is other type of disease mi ko funda around Senegal fana mi kan ko man jampo nyola o do ba fole fana ko corona kata even food stuff so bala mi ko right now affection so do kan ko mi da chicken la karo right now mo le ka ko in room ko ay chicken la mudal o ya mudal chicken la bala mi chicken man tan nakan so things like that am ba mo affect am bakel.
So like ite mine mira comme government ba wala kekan pour ñu second wave min na dañu COVID-19 second one to put a stop on it.
Fewo ko geda han ko so ko ra ko nim fengere yega jigila ko ratiol okay nim fengere banko fanan kam mo jigila banko man sakundal okay like ntemi fongale nim jigibi yen jigila banko man sakundal mini to len tam portek la because na right lom pour to len portek ay do fana do ko lom pour yen tek portek because okay every tax ngam jonka yo to la pour ni kuna tan pour yen portek like they have emergency bucket whereby wo boyo bi for emergency li pour ni ore emergency na mi ko corona si ba pour mo portek. Okay, but them from Kadiame then though they give me some food stuff some months back, that is somehow better. But better still, we are affected. Somebody am affected, meaning the government is not doing much. Okay, coming down, government something cannot. It's something they have to put down the measures. Meaning at least the bataka mul protect ka bangu mul tankandala. Okay, kumul fana mul mianka so totally. But kana kumul mianka mansura. Meaning the Minister of Health kana kumul mul mianka amount available. So in the form from Molante California is a fact and available in.
So like ite be mina follow no comme Gambien no le ani amanke Gambien no dambadi bari modol pour like isi hakilo to ni sasa la karola because pour modo ya soto afenke da bagel easy da bagel.
Ko nyal because mo be ndak lo sasa because sasa mi an castor do nga believe ko after Gambia bo ko min to Gambia non ka sama nyami ani abanyami it may be different. But they come in Gaola, more sacred than me. I mean, for a mini Malta, many yard, all of the health, very well, so we have to believe in them. Many, I mean, for Molianda, for all and Ambulo, we come Ambulo, fine Ambulo, we jump on you, always very fine. Very totally all of Phenomenon and protect no and Tankandal.
So, it a lot come ñing corona amanke fengoti mi yalan ko false comme false kumole molka fo false lem ayata toñale ite lata la femal la
corona wanti ndela corona ko mi nga ko sasa mi nga so torene
anda aba gambia jenna
okay nsa believe no franka aba gambia le because sasa mi nga ka transmit le okay aba bankol min ka wala mo ko na gambia le so ni mo ko nya gambia jena I cannot deny it okay but mi yana ndala fa namba ka aba gambia wala ma minia like ni ko america o china ka mo min faaje e de o lol ko sofa nyami gambia sana so like that. So for that being the case, nin mol kamata Gambia fana, me trust komi amata Gambia, but ni ka Gambia fana, Islam lo kamata Gambia, but komi mi ma be de moli fonta ngade doro, all important la be.
Okay, thank you. We all heard what our uncle has just said. Let us save ourselves and save others by wearing face masks and wash our hands with running and clean water. Thank you.
Very interesting because Halifa says sometimes the government fabricate stories about coronavirus based on their own interests. Umar, do you think the same thing happened in the Gambia here?
I totally disagree with that.
Why?
I don't think the government will just put on false accusation on an issue which knows that affects its citizens at large. You know, the government cannot just came into the media, tell something to us which knows that it doesn't exist. We cannot believe that. So I totally disagree with what the man is saying. COVID-19 is real. Anything that the government says about the COVID-19 is real. If the government wants to have something into their own pocket, I don't think they will use this COVID-19 issue as a platform of them gaining something from it. So if, someone out there is telling you, the government sometimes tell you or fabricate lies in order for them to gain. I don't believe in that. I have 100% trust on the government that is on us through or with this COVID-19 issue. Sometimes, although we face some disappointment from the government, from the NGOs, but that doesn't mean that everything or what they have said in the public is false. We cannot just justify that. I never been to the quarantine center, but all what I heard from them is right. Because I socialize with so many doctors. I ask them about this COVID-19 issue. Anything that the government says, I have to go to a doctor and then ask him. This government says, or the spokesperson of health minister says this, or the minister of health today came to the media and then says this and that.
How many times?
So many times.
Frequently?
Frequently, they came to the media of highlighting people about the COVID-19 issues, things affecting the general public at large. How many cases do we have? But it doesn't mean that when they came into the media and then telling us something which knows that it is affecting us, the citizens, how so can we be like it is a lie? It just cannot be a lie. You cannot just justify that it is a lie.
Okay, if I understand what you are trying to say, you are trying to say that anything the government have said about coronavirus is true.
It's true.
Abubakar, do you have the same thing in your mind?
No. I am in support of what
Halifa?
What Halifa just said.
Okay, say something
Sometimes
about
it is difficult to believe.
Yeah.
Because we all had we all see the interview of Esonyasi, the then journalist of the QTV.
QTV, yeah.
Yes, he was interviewed immediately after he was released from the quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that what the government are just saying about the COVID-19 issue is all false, and he further said that it is just a self-grip, and I am going to support that full time, because what they just said, the every day and night the cases are proliferating like shit. We don't even understand what they are just doing. So we are going to believe that because Umar said he have met with the medical experts who have
doctors
who sensitize people about the
frequent
coronavirus issue. Yeah. For me, I didn't see that, and I have clear evidence from Esonyasi. He said that what they have just said, they are all false and they are not true. So obviously, I am going to trust that, because that is what I have just said.
Now, if I understand, you are trying to say sometimes the government do pretend.
Of course, they pretend. That is reality.
Or they are they are wolf in a sheep clothing.
Of course, they are wolf in a sheep clothing, because simply why they are only looking for the money the Western people gave us.
The funds.
Of course, the
that
funds
are
and the
coming
support.
up and
Good.
down.
So meaning they are only looking for their personal interests.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Many people say that, and that is the reality. We must believe that that is the reality, of course.
Thank you, Jame. So,
Yeah, I will like to elaborate on what he says.
okay.
When it comes to the journalist of QTV, Ansumana Esonyasi.
Yeah.
When Ansumana Esonyasi was tested positive,
Yeah.
him self came to the media telling people that this COVID-19 issue is real.
Of course.
Yeah.
He is telling people that, Gambians have been so ignorant. I am just quoting from him directly. Gambians are so ignorant without, in a case that they don't believe that the COVID-19 is real. He's even trying to tell people that let us just obey by this COVID-19, strict restrictions by washing our hands, wearing face masks, and then the like. So it doubts me when Abubakar says to me, the same Ansumana Esonyasi came to the media, tell to the media like, COVID-19, everything that the government says about COVID-19 is false.
No. You misquote
Don't
him.
misquote me.
You misquote him. He don't mean that everything the government say about COVID-19 is false or it's not true. But what he say, he means sometimes the government pretend.
Okay?
Because the way they handle the situation or the way they handle the such issues, they should not handle it like that.
But
They don't take it as a serious thing.
yeah, I quoted from the same Ansumana Esonyasi where he says that, we have to understand the government simply because of our economical problem in Africa.
But I know that our economy is very weak.
So
but
how
they
do-
should not pretend.
To pretend like
No,
how?
no, no,
How
no.
does the
They should
government
not
pretend to us?
They should not pretend. They should not pretend like everything is okay with us. Why everything is not okay with
That
us?
is what I'm talking
The
about.
government pretends to us,
Yeah.
showing to us that everything is okay to us.
Why is
The government
why is
that's
rather unfortunate?
that they should do that. They
Pretend-
should not discourage us.
No,
The
no,
government
no,
should
no.
not be at the media telling us every day there are thousands of
This is
people.
something
no,
They have
people.
to bring things easier to us.
No, let me tell you one thing. Omar, do you think that the government can handle this issue, serious thing, and they will put all the necessary measures in place than pretending?
Obviously, they should put that in place than pretending.
Yeah.
But, in a circumstance like this, the government should sometimes come to the media and then tell his subjects like, everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to fine. Everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. That's what we expected from them. We would not expect them to come to the media every day terrifying people.
No, I don't mean that. The government should come to media and make us afraid all the time. What we are trying to say, and what I understand, what Abubakar just have stated, the government should not sit down and say everything is okay with us while
everything is not
it's
all
not
right.
okay. Why?
Everything is not
so-
all right.
Yeah, but they should come to the media and tell us that everything is going to be okay.
Of course, everything is going to be. That is probability.
It will be okay,
But-
but we don't know.
But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, obviously.
Oh, all right. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell to have access to anytime we upload a video. If you are not the first person, you'll be the second person or the third person to get the video.
many
But you will
thanks
never be the last
to
person
the World
to get the
Solution
video.
team as well, and many thanks to our Iron Lady, Aisha Enshaho. We thank her very much for his interview with many people. Thank you very much.
Subscribe.
See you later.
Subscribe to see the latest information in the world. Be educated, be entertained, and then shout out to my cameraman.
And we forgot to
Mala.
put this in place. Our gentleman Biran.
Biran is
Biran is
So
Biran
we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
May Allah grant him speedy recovery. Thank you.